Okay. Yeah, morning all. So introduction to DJANGO. Today I'm going to discuss like introduction to DJANGO framework, right? Framework of Python. DJANGO is one of the framework of Python, right? For web applications creations, for interactive web applications creations. So in a rapid speed, we can develop web application using Python, right? So what do you mean by a web application? What do you mean by a web framework, right? Yes, observe this. What is a web framework? What is DJANGO? Why DJANGO? Key advantages of DJANGO. History of DJANGO. Features of DJANGO. Characteristics of DJANGO. Companies using DJANGO and differences between MVC and MVT. In Java, we follow MVC, right? Here in Python, we follow MVT architecture. So here, MVC and MVT. So what is a web framework? What is a web framework? DJANGO is a framework of Python. What do you mean by a framework means? It is a code library which helps you to build a flexible web application. What is that? It's a code library which helps you to build a flexible web applications. So it is going to give you a structure where to keep a python.py files, where to keep the images, where to keep HTML files, where to keep CSS files, any other, right? Any other files, a structure we need to follow for it. DJANGO is a web development framework for Python. It's a web development framework for Python, which offers a fast and effective website development, which offers a fast and effective website development. It helps in building and maintaining quality web applications. In building and maintaining quality web application, it enables you to make the development process smooth and time saving. So here we are not going to write any applications, bigger applications or bigger huge codings, right? Everything will be available within this DJANGO. We are just going to change the things accordingly. Whichever required, whatever you want to configure, everything, the structure will be given everything by the DJANGO. So at a rapid speed, we can develop a web application. Why DJANGO and key advantages of DJANGO? Very easy to set up and run. DJANGO is very easy to set up and run, not like other frameworks of other programming languages. It's too complex for setting up. It provides a ready-to-use interface, for administrative activities. It is used to build all types of systems like social networks, scientific computing platforms, all this, right? DJANGO helps you to provide end-to-end application testing. And REST framework has rich support for several authentication protocols. Okay, so it is easy to set up and run, a ready-to-use interface, all types of systems like mostly like social networks, end-to-end application testing, and rich support of several authentication protocols like HTTP protocol, hypertext transfer protocol, right? So DJANGO has got support to various protocols, HTTP, FTP. The history of DJANGO. So the DJANGO was released in the year 2005. It was named, the DJANGO is the name of a guitarist. They named after jazz guitarist DJANGO Reinhardt. It's the name of a guitarist. In June 2008, it was declared as DJANGO Software Foundation. Just like Python Software Foundation, PSF, we have got DJANGO Software Foundation. which is going to maintain the DJANGO, which is going to maintain DJANGO. DJANGO 1.1 version was released the 2009. DJANGO 1.1 version was released on July 29, 2009. Okay. One version 2009, 1.2 version in 2010, 1.11 version in the year 2017, 1.11 version. If you observe here in this, okay, December 2017, December 2017, 2 version becomes the first Python 3 only release version. Means DJANGO version 2 version was released in 2017 December, which was supporting Python 3 version. Okay. DJANGO 3 version was released in December 2019. Okay. DJANGO 3 version was released in December 2019, right? Yes. And 3 version was in December 2019. Later again 2 years back, like after 2019, 2021, 4 version was released. The version that we are using currently is 4 version, DJANGO 4 version, right? Features of DJANGO. It helps you to define patterns for URLs in your applications. Powerful URL systems. So whenever you want to give for any web application, URL required, right? Facebook.com, gmail.com. For any web application, we are going to provide a URL, right? It has got some built-in authentication system, automatic admin interface feature. So using which we can add, edit, and delete that operations. See, even like SQL operations, we don't need to write SQL queries. Here in DJANGO, no need to write that without the knowledge of SQL directly. If you want to add a record, add button will be there in this admin. If you want to remove, you can remove. If you need to click that remove but delete button. So in that way, using we can customize the admin panel as per our need, right? So many flexible features are provided by DJANGO that you'll be seeing once we enter into that applications creations. Flexible features. Characteristics of DJANGO: less code, very less code. Ensures effective development. Ensures effective development. Not repeated. Everything should be developed in precisely one place instead of repeating it again, right? Fast development. DJANGO offers fast and reliable application development. Consistent design. A clean design and makes easy to follow the best web development practices. Okay. DJANGO has its own application server. One second. Okay. DJANGO has got its own application server and has got its own database. So we have got its own application server and its own database. Means SQLite 3 is a database which we are going to see within this DJANGO. If you want to connect to any other database like MySQL, Oracle, all you can also get configured, right? It is not as complex. Just giving that username, password of that databases, we can easily connect with that, right? And it has got its own application server and its own database. So companies using DJANGO, these are the companies with Bitbucket, Discuss, NASA, PBS, Pinterest, Instagram, Mozilla, NY Times, LA Times. 1 second. So here, if I just open this, observe this. Top DJANGO companies, if you type, right? Top DJANGO companies in Google. NASA is using DJANGO, right? See that revenue and the number of employees, 3,12,000, right? These are some more like being kernel, these things, right? Their revenue they are generating, number of employees. Okay. So these are the companies, biggest biggest companies using DJANGO, right? A closer look, like number of employees you can see. Okay. You can see the top 10 big companies using DJANGO. Top 10 big companies using DJANGO. 1 second. YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Discuss, Dropbox. Biggest companies using DJANGO, right? These are some of the companies. NASA is using, Boeing, Kernel. Pinterest is using this Pinterest. National Geographic, Mozilla, Robinhood, Udemy. Okay, these are using. Okay, observe this. NASA for National Aeronautics and Space Administration, right? Focuses on this. Boeing manufactures and sells aeroplanes, rockets, rotorcraft, right? Boeing. Kernel, neurotech company, develops insights and interfaces to unlock unknown scientific issues. And one more like software, this was Atlassian. It's a software development company that creates products for software developers. Pinterest, visual discovery engine. Okay. So National Geographic invests in science, education, and storytelling. Mozilla Corporation, Robinhood, and Udemy. Just observe top 10 are DJANGO apps and why companies are using it. top 10 DJANGO apps and why companies are using it, right? Not this. Examples of companies using, okay, 1 second. Python DJANGO developers and their reviews, right? See the ratings of DJANGO, right? Why? Because we have got many frameworks for Python. DJANGO, Flask, Pyramid, Bottle, Turbo Gear, right? But DJANGO is, see the ratings for this, 4.8 out of list of DJANGO firms, right? So here 4.9, Bears Dev, 4.8, Studio, and see 4.9, 4.8, 5, Clear Submit, Software Group, Frankfurt, Order Group, means those who are using JMR, see all this, you can see 5 or 4.9 ratings for this. So it is all 4.8. As you can see all the ratings, right? Yes. Okay, 1 second. Top 100 Python and DJANGO development companies. Top 100 Python and DJANGO development companies, right? So see that one by one the companies, okay. Bit Studios. These are the companies using DJANGO, right? DJANGO Stars, Hodel, NetGuru, 10 Clouds. So all this, right? Many companies are using DJANGO currently. Even you need to see the scope of DJANGO, right? In the coming years also, it's not a kind of thing which will go away from the market immediately. Many applications we are developing today using this. Okay. So applications. So what are that? NASA using Instagram, Pinterest, Quora, Bitbucket, Discuss. All these are developed using DJANGO, right? If you see that for DJANGO documentation is one of the famous documentation, right? Observe this. If you go to this DJANGOproject.com, DJANGOproject.com, right? So where you can download DJANGO and see the documentation for this, right? Okay. What is this? DJANGO. If you need to be very much particular about the DJANGO versions also, right? DJANGO versions. LTS, long-term support. LTS versions are there, long-term support. If you go to this download, right? If you go to this download, just you can see it gives the brief information about these versions. Observe. For example, April here, 2022, 4 version, LTS version, long-term support. Up to 2024 it supports, right? The version 4. Next we are going to see when a new version is going to release also, it is going to say yes, 4.1 version. 4.1 version when it is going to release. Observe, okay, 4.1 version. August 2022. August 2022. And next LTS version when you are going to get 4.2 long-term support. Next version 4.2 version, right? Long-term support version. Okay. When it is going to get released? April 2023. Next version, right? Fine. Okay. So mostly in this web applications creations using okay, one second, Python and the Django framework. So so I was discussing this, right? These are the companies like NASA, Bitbucket, Discuss, PBS, Pinterest, Instagram, Mozilla, NY Times, all this, right? Okay. Just I'm going to discuss this creation of web applications in three IDs. Three IDs I am going to use. PyCharm Professional Edition, PyCharm Professional Edition, right? Atom ID, and VS Code. Okay. These three IDs, PyCharm Professional, Atom, and VS Code. Nearly about 25 applications creations I'll be showing you as part of this. So some 10 applications, 10 applications on this. So nearing 15 applications on the remaining both. So you'll get idea on working on all the IDs. Among this, PyCharm is very flexible, right? Even for starting the server, for giving the request, everything. Just like you will have some button system for doing all those. No need to write any commands. But here we are supposed to write some commands for starting the servers or giving other requests, other things. But here it's very simple. Like to start the server, play like just like play button. Play and pause button will be there. If you want to start it, that button is server starts. In that way, many flexible features given in this PyCharm, right? Okay. So fine. I am going to show you in all the three IDs. First, I'll be showing you on Atom ID. Next, I'll come to PyCharm ID, VS Code. So nearly some 10 on PyCharm, 10 applications I'll show you on PyCharm, 10 applications on Atom, and from some 5 applications like in VS Code. Okay, fine. One second. So just I'll give a small example, right? One second. Observe. I'll show you a small application creation using this DJANGO so that you will get an idea. First DJANGO application creation. Later, I'll show you tomorrow. You can do parallelly along with me, right? So the installation, everything I'll be showing you. First, applications creations. DJANGO application. Okay. Otherwise, if you have what systems, you can do parallel along with me. The installation. Okay. DJANGO installation. DJANGO installation. So step by step. So there is no theoretical, nothing theory in this. Everything is practical oriented. How to create applications in this, right? So those who, okay, I'll give time for you. Web applications creations also. All these are hands-on. So you are going to do some parallel along with me, right? If you got any error, you will be sharing the screen to me, right? Yes. Django installation, right? Already the prerequisite for this Python should be installed. Python should be installed in your systems. Python should be installed, right? So I was just showing you, right, today, like DJANGO web applications creations, many company are using, many web applications are getting created. First, okay, observe, just step by step I'm mentioning here. So step one, installation of DJANGO software. First, install Python software. I think everyone has got Python installed in your system, right? So create a folder, DJANGO Apps. Create a folder, DJANGO Apps within the C drive. So DJANGO Apps is a folder where I'm going to store all my applications. In this folder, in this particular folder, all my DJANGO applications I'm going to store. Let me show you already, like in the previous batches. So many applications. So DJANGO, one second. DJANGO apps 2, right? You see this, my project 1, my project 2, my project 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all this, right? For the previous batch. So in this way, all my projects are getting stored here, right? 29 projects. Okay. And I'm going to create a virtual environment. Means Python already installed in your system, right? But I'm going to take one more copy of it. I will copy that Python which is installed in your system and I'll bring it into this folder. So that what happens? If any changes if you are making to this Python software, it should not affect your original Python that we called as virtual environment. Virtually, you are going to, Python is going to be installed in your system, one, that is one. And into this folder also, I'm going to bring, observe. Okay. Okay. So create a folder DJANGO and install DJANGO software in it. We are going to install DJANGO software within that. Don't install DJANGO software in the same Python folder. Already you have installed Python in the same Python folder. You are not supposed to install DJANGO software. So first, for that, we are going to create a virtual environment. Create virtual environment. In that virtual environment only, we will install DJANGO software. I'll just show you step by step. Even if any modification we do in DJANGO, it should not affect the original Python software. Virtual environment is created for Python. In that we install DJANGO. Means in your system we have two Python softwares. One is original, one in virtual environment for DJANGO. Installing, okay, first, so I'll come back to this. Installing virtual environment module used for creating virtual environment, right? Yes. So for this install, right, you need to have internet connection. Internet need to be connected to your, because it is going to load, it's going to download, it is going to install, both is going to happen, right? Okay, just observe. Go to the C drive, everyone. Go to the C drive and create a folder with the name DJANGO Apps. New folder. New folder, yes. Create a folder with the name DJANGO Apps. Don't give any space. DJANGO Apps. A folder you create. In that, I'm going to store all my applications. nearly 25 to 30. I'm going to show you step by step. Okay. Now identify where your Python is available. So where your Python is available in C drive. Yeah. Okay, fine. Where your Python is available, you need to identify. So if you have installed in Sunny subfolders, the total path you need to give. See, if you have given in a big path, you will get while installing. If you have installed in that path you need to identify that total. But I said to install Python within the C drive, right? So identify where is the Python available, Python 3.10 or 3.9, whatever it is. Python 3.10 I can see here, right? Python 3.10, click it. In Python 3.10, if you are able to see the Python installed folder, right? Within that, you are able to see the scripts folder, right? Within that, you are able to see the scripts folder, everyone. Python 3.10 scripts folder. In that, are you able to see pip? Everyone, are you able to see that pip, right? So using which we will be installing virtual environment module. Not only that, any module in Python, we will be installing with that. So everyone created that folder in the C drive, right? DJANGO apps. Now what I will do, you identify where your Python is available in your system, right? Okay. Now go to the command prompt. At the bottom search panel, you can see type CMD in that. In the bottom search panel, type CMD and say enter. CMD and press enter. You'll be getting this video right today. If anyone not done with that installation, make your installation ready, and from tomorrow we'll develop some application, right? First Django applications, some two applications, right? So that you will get idea what is the project structure, application structure. Okay, URL, many files are there. Okay, now cd slash come out of this. Already you have got a path. cd Python. What is the folder where your Python is available? Python 3.10. cd Python 3.10. Within that 3.10, scripts folder is there, right? Scripts folder. Yes. Say enter. Python 3.10 scripts folder is there, right? Yes. Now you are in the scripts folder. If you see that where it is showing the path 3.10 scripts. Here pip is available, right? Say pip install. What is that? I said you are supposed to create one virtual environment, right? Already Python available physically in your system. Now I want to create one virtual environment. Pip install virtual env, right? Virtual env. Yes. Say enter. Automatically it will download and it will install this. It will automatically download and install. Pip install virtual env. Collecting virtual environment, right? Yes. Successfully installed. It's clearly saying successfully installed virtual env, right? It's clearly saying successfully installed virtual env. So what is that? Pip install virtual env. Got everyone? Successfully installed, it should say virtual env version 20.14. Yes. Those who are in the online also, I want responses from you.
Got
Whether this installation is completed, successfully installed virtual env, right?
Vijay, like virtual env, like what is the main purpose of this virtual env? In order to not to do any disturb any changes for the Python, right?
Yes, virtual environment, if you are making any changes in the Django, right, it should not affect your original Python. And also in Django also, you require that Python, right, for Python based things. So we will be installing it virtually. Okay, first a module, virtual environment module is created here. Now see what I will be doing using this virtual environment module. I will create an environment, virtual environment I am going to create now. In that environment, I am going to install Python, which is already available in your system.
Okay.
Fine. Yes, sir. Virtual, just like math module, OS module, virtual environment is also a module, inbuilt module, right? Math module or OS module. Virtual environment is also a inbuilt module. So whenever we need pip install virtual env only, we should say then only it will be installed. It's an inbuilt module in Python, right? Now we can give any name for your virtual environment. Once this virtual environment, everyone done with this step, I hope, right? Yes. Next, what you will do is, okay, the steps also clearly I have mentioned here. Next, installing virtual environment model used for creating virtual environment, pip install virtual env, that is completed. Yes, sir. Up to now in the folder, okay, if you go and check in this Python 3.10 in the scripts folder, have you got this virtual env at the last in Python 3.10 in the scripts? Virtual env have you got now, right? Everyone.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now next step 4, creating. Up to now, creating virtual environment. Now creating virtual environment. Now where you will create this virtual environment? So only total Django will have only, see here, Django apps folder only. I want to store everything, apps creations, this virtual and okay. In Django apps folder only we create virtual environment. So to create that virtual environment, you will say change directly to Django apps. Observe carefully. I'll just show you. Okay. Change your directory to Django apps. CD Django apps. Already you created this folder, right? In command prompt, you are supposed to go to this Django apps. Okay. After you go to the Django apps folder, observe this. After you go to the Django apps folder, right? See Python 3.9 or 3.10, whatever you have given, Python 3.9 or 3.10, whatever version you have got, right? In that you have got scripts folder, right? In that virtual env, just now you got that virtual env got added, right? Using this path and using this virtual env, create my venv, means what? My virtual env, my venv. This is my name of my virtual environment. You can give any name. Okay, I'm giving that my venv, my virtual environment, right? Understand this. This virtual environment is. I am creating virtual environment now. Now, after creating, I will show you what is going to happen, right? So up to now in the Django apps folder, it is empty, right? If you observe Django apps folder you have created, right? Where is it? Django apps folder is empty. Nothing is there in that. No virtual environment created up to now. You won't see Python in this. Pip or all this not available now. It is empty, right? Now what you will do? Go to command prompt, everyone. CD slash come out of this path. CD slash and come out of this path, right? Understanding? Now change your directory to CD DJANGO Apps. CD DJANGO Apps. Change your directory to DJANGO Apps directory. Yes. Only this first two steps are just within 2 minutes. Your DJANGO is going to get installed. 2 minutes hardly takes. What is there up to now? I didn't do anything. Pip install virtual env. I did. You got that virtual env into your Python folder. Using that, I am creating virtual environment and install DJANGO in that. Hardly it takes 2 minutes to 5 minutes for installing DJANGO. Right? DJANGO apps. Enter to this DJANGO apps. And now give the path where your virtual environment is available. You have just now you installed virtual environment module, right? Where it is available? In Python 3.10 folder, scripts folder, virtual environment is available, right? Give the entire path or copy that path and paste it here. C slash Python 3.10. Within that scripts folder slash virtual env is available here. Virtual env. Yes. Virtual env. And now give you the name for your virtual environment. I'm giving it as my VENV. So go to the DJANGO. Now in the DJANGO apps folder, it will be reflected. Now previously it was empty, right? Now you see what it is going to get created. Yes. Say enter. Say enter. Created virtual environment. What clearly it is saying? Created virtual environment. Understood, everyone? Everyone got this? Created. Now virtual environment is created. Yes. What? Okay. Now go and check in this DJANGO apps folder. Now anything you have got? In DJANGO apps folder, my virtual environment folder, you can see, right? In my virtual environment, what you will see? Scripts, which was there in the Python folder. Scripts, you can see all this, right? Pip, all this you got, right? Means from Python software, you brought all these scripts folder into this, right? My virtual environment is created under DJANGO apps folder. Yes. Now I'll make you do one application, right? Along with me parallelly. What is that? Any queries you got? Yes. Now observe. Still DJANGO is not installed, right? So here creating of virtual environment finished. Starting or activating virtual environment. Starting or activating virtual environment. Now what you will do? Your virtual environment is present where? My virtual environment is present where? DJANGO apps folder. In that, my virtual environment, right? Within that, scripts folder is there, right? If you go and check, observe carefully within that, in DJANGO apps, my virtual environment, within that within the scripts, activate. You can see this activate, right? Now, activating virtual environment, activating okay. Now observe. You are in DJANGO apps folder. CD scripts. CD scripts folder. DJANGO apps folder. Change. Enter into the scripts folder. CD my virtual environment. Enter into this my virtual environment. Within that scripts is available, right? CD my virtual environment. CD scripts. Within that scripts are there. So within the DJANGO apps folder, my virtual environment is available. Within that, scripts folder is available. Enter, enter. Within the scripts, what you see? Activate. Yes. Say activate. Say activate. Enter. Now, can you see this my virtual environment? And this is what? After activate, what happened? Can you see this my virtual environment? Whether it is activated or not, how will you check? You can see this my virtual environment in the bracket here. It appears my virtual environment in the bracket, and you will get the path where currently you are. Everyone got this, right? You should get the my virtual environment within the braces. This thing you will see for this all you will see for Atom ID, VS Code ID. This all not required for PyCharm ID. Directly, if you give that project name, application name, automatically it will create all that virtual environment, Django install, everything will be taken. But for other IDs like Atom, VS Code, these things required. Yes, virtual environment compulsory for Django. Now, in PyCharm applications creations, these steps not required. Directly, it will automatically in the background, it will create all this virtual environment, everything will be created, right? Yes. My virtual environment scripts folder, you can say activate. Okay, next what you do is, okay, creating the first, okay, one second. Step by step, I show you, one second. IDLE Okay, just observe. Step 1. Okay, before we create this, right? Meanwhile, what you can do is everyone go to Google and just say downloading and installing Autumn IDE, downloading and installing Autumn IDE. Okay, one second. So in the command prompt where you are currently, everyone got this my virtual environment, right? Everyone got this my virtual environment, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now install DJANGO in this. Now install DJANGO. How to install DJANGO? Pip install DJANGO. That's it. Pip install DJANGO. Enter. Downloading DJANGO. 8 MB software, 8 MB, right? Just no need to do all. Pip install DJANGO. Depending upon your internet speed, it gets downloaded fast and will install. It hardly takes 1 minute, right? That's it. Installed, successfully installed DJANGO, it will say. Successfully installed DJANGO 4.0.4. 4.0.4. You are supposed to see that version of DJANGO. In the interview, if they ask what version of DJANGO you are using, what version of Python you are using. Python, which version? 3.10 specifically. Okay? And DJANGO version 4.0. Yeah, got it, everyone? Successfully installed these things you need to say, right? Yes, sir. So what happened? Successfully installed. Can you see here? Can you see my screen, everyone? Yes, successfully installed DJANGO 4.0.4. You should get this, right? Everyone got?
Yes, sir. Got.
Yes, sir.
So now your DJANGO is installed. Very simple, right? What I did? Pip install virtual environment. Virtual environment came into your project Python folder. And using that, I went into DJANGO Apps folder. And you have given the path of virtual environment. And I created my virtual environment. After that, activate virtual environment. How? Go to the DJANGO Apps, my virtual environment, scripts, activate. After activating the virtual environment only, pip install. It will download automatically and it will install automatically. And you can see it is installed successfully. Everyone should get successfully installed DJANGO. Yes. So make your things ready for application development, right? One is DJANGO installation. One is that IDs. Now, okay. Now, go to, okay, I was saying like what you are going to do. Downloading and installing Atom IDE. Atom IDE. Just go to this Google and just say www.atom.io. www.atom.io. Just say atom.io and say enter. Atom ID you are going to download, right? This is what Atom. Okay. Don't think it looks, once you create all this, right? It will be very simple. Within the 5-10 minutes, we can develop one application. 10 minutes or 15 minutes, right? Applications creations. Everything will be inbuilt. Download option is there, right? One more thing, can you see for Windows 7, Windows 64-bit, Windows 7 or later? Download, you can say. Download, if you say your download is going to start, just 190 MB, right? 190 MB. Everyone just download it. Okay. Already in my system that Atom is available. Okay, one of you try to share the screen. I'll show you in any one of yours. 1 second. Who is sharing the screen? May I know? Those who are in the online. Download. Now we need to install it. See, some of you, while installing Python, you should have said next, next, next. Your Python will be in somewhere in 3 or 4 subdirectories. It should have been installed in C drive, users, app data, local programs, Python in that way. If you have seen that every time you are supposed to give that full path. So in that case, uninstall that Python, again install Python in your C drive. Remove that big path and install in C drive itself. Otherwise, every time whenever you want to do this any module installation, you need to install within the Python folder. So you need to give the full path. So If anybody have installed Python in any big subfolders, right? Uninstall and reinstall it. Okay, fine. After your download is completed, just click it and install it. Click and install it. Just if you double click it, it will be installed. Just click it, it will be installing. One slope we will get. It will just double click it and install it. No need to do anything. It will automatically it will install, and later it will you will get one screen like this at the last. You will get one desktop shortcut on your desktop. You will be getting, right? Yes. And 1 second, I'll open this Atom. You will be getting, finally you will be getting this Atom ID. You will get this screen like this. You will be getting this Atom in this way. You will be getting, after you install, you will get, it will be automatically. Just check it. No need of just double click the downloaded file. It will automatically install. No need of any other separate things. Otherwise, I'll show you that. 1 second. One of you can share the screen. 1 second. I'll stop share. Yes. Yes, Malaysia started share screening. Okay, you got this. Where is your Atom? Atom got installed? Atom got installed or not? Atom.io. Just open this Atom. In this way, you can download Atom. Yes. If you want to see the steps, right? Download Atom. Atom gets downloaded. Once it gets downloaded, right? You can just, if it is downloaded, click it. Hmm. For everyone, it is installed or not? Yes. Don't disturb while installing, right? Means while the application is getting installed. While installing, it will show you that it is getting installed. It will, yes. Okay, I'll share my screen. Stop sharing your screen, yes. Yes. You will get like this. Everyone got it? Autumn hackable text editor. Yes or no? Try to respond, everyone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
You will get this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, once it is installed, you will get this. You can close all those. You can close. Okay, 1 second. File is there, right? File,
Yes.
open folder, or otherwise add project to folder. Add project to folder. What is that? Within the C drive, DJANGO Apps. DJANGO Apps, and say select folder. That's it. File, otherwise open folder, otherwise say what? Open folder, you can say open folder. Which one? Within the C drive, DJANGO Apps. DJANGO Apps folder, select folder, you can say. Open folder, you can say, and say DJANGO Apps. Now you got, everyone got this. DJANGO Apps you will get, and virtual environment you will get. In that scripts you will get. Yes, in the Atom ID. Yes. Now, Getting?
Yes, sir. Get it.
Okay. Now see the steps, right? Downloading and installing Autom ID. After that, step 1. Activate virtual environment. Activate virtual environment. Now, developing the first DJANGO application. Developing the first DJANGO application. Step 1. Come from the starting, everyone. Close this virtual environment. This everything you can close this. Anytime if you want to activate virtual environment, how to activate virtual environment? Go to this CMD. Now already everything finished. Your ID installation finished. Your DJANGO installation completed, right? Now activate your virtual environment first. Go to CMD, go to the command prompt. CD slash. What is the path? CD. Try to say the path.
Python
Dash
310.
Python 3
DJANGO apps.
Django.
So everything we need to perform from DJANGO apps. Within that slash scripts folder. Within the scripts folder.
Activate.
Enter. Sorry. DJANGO spelling. There is a typo here. DJANGO scripts. Yeah, my virtual environment, right? My virtual env. We need to enter my virtual env. My env. Yes. Slash scripts. Enter. And say activate. Activating virtual environment, right? Yes. Activated. I'm copying this. I'll be creating the nodes parallelly. Okay, one second. Okay. CD scripts. Go to the scripts folder, DJANGO apps, my virtual scripts. Activate, you say, my virtual environment. Okay. Now, step 2. Step 2. Creating or starting. Creating or starting. Right. Project to folder. Observe, creating or starting project to folder. The command to create a project to folder is observe. Whatever you want to do, everything within the DJANGO apps you need to do, not within this. Now installation finished of DJANGO, right? CD dot dot, you can say, come out of this scripts, come out of the scripts. Again, come out of this virtual environment by saying CD dot dot. Now where you are currently? In DJANGO apps folder. Now create a project folder here. Creating a project folder here. What is the command? DJANGO admin. So the command for creating a project folder, right? DJANGO admin, start project, my for PROJ1, my project one. Observe here, DJANGO admin, start project, my project one. Okay, say enter. Now check it whether the folder got created or not. I'm creating the steps parallelly, right? What we are performing step by step. Creating or starting a project, yes. Yes, okay, observe. Now go and check in the folder, my virtual environment folder. In the DJANGO apps, my project one, can you see? Everyone, you are able to see my project one folder created. Go and check in Atom also. Go and check in Atom also. My project one is created. My project one is created. If you open that my project one in Atom, what you are going to see? Manage.py. What you are able to see? One more folder, inner folder. Project outer folder is available, inner folder, both you can see, right? Right, outer folder and inner folder.
So we can directly create the folder in the Atom UI, right, Vijay?
Okay, fine. Okay. Manage.py and one inner project folder created. Got right? Now, next step. Step 3. Creating or starting an application. Creating or starting a application. Creating or starting a application, right? Yes.
Vijay, I have one doubt here. Hello?
Yes.
Vijay, we can directly create a folder from Atom UI, right? In order to, go to CMD and creating a folder. So we can directly create a folder, whatever you want to use. So we can directly create an Atom UI, right? By clicking on new.
See, 1 second. 1 second. So here, if creating a folder is different. See, 1 second. CD, just enter into your project folder once. Yes, I am coming to your query. CD my project one. CD my project one. Enter into the project folder.
Yes.
Enter into the project folder, right?
Yes, yes.
You have created, right? T or E. I want by default you will see many files within that. You are going to, whenever you are creating project folder, right? you are going to see many files within it. If you want, you can go and check here in DJANGO apps, in my project one, in my project one. See, these are the things. Creating a normal folder is different from project folder, right? You won't get all these files, .py files, init file, settings file, URLs file. .py files, you can see many things. In your project folder, even in Atom, you can see that. In Atom, if you open this my project folder, you can see many, right? If you want, you will get some dark background. Atom, you have got very dark background. If you want my light background, files, settings, themes, UI theme, Atom light, you will get like this. Atom light background. Close. Now you got some. You can see creating a folder in Atom is different from creating a project folder, right? Creating a project folder means you should get all these files. If you create a normal folder, you won't get these files. Understand? So if you want to see the files from here, tree/f means you will be getting what are the files you can see folder path py and my project one, right?
Yeah. I understood, Vijay, but my question is like, so you once come to that Atom UI. I'll quickly show Atom UI. So when you place your cursor on my proj one, uh, or else like DJANGO apps. So from if you right click on it, like from here, like can we create a new? I mean,
Yes, you can create there.
so if we create like this in this way, like we are not going to get all those inbuilt whatever you shown,
Okay,
right? Init settings URL. So those are not going to come, right?
one second, new folder you create, give some name, it will ask some name here. It will ask, give some name.
My
ABC is the name I have given. Okay, DJANGO apps, ABC names I have given. Just observe what is there in it.
yeah, that
Are you seeing
no,
it? Nothing, right?
nothing. Yes.
Empty folder. But whenever you are creating project, right, you will be getting many files. By default, you will be getting many project files, related files you are going to get, right? Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. So whenever you say tree/f, you are able to see what are the things you are able to see in the project folder. These are the files available, right? Next step is what? Creating application folder. Creating or starting a application. Creating or starting an application. First enter into the project folder. First enter into the project folder. Okay, first enter into the project folder means I already entered into the project folder, right? In the command prompt, cd project one. I've entered into it. Okay. Now Python. Now how to create an application or application folder? The command you see, right? These first 4-5 commands will be common to all the applications. Project creation, application creation, the things next coming steps will be common for all the applications. So I'm creating one now, application Python manage.py start application name demo application I'm giving, right? Demo app Python manage.py start application demo application, right? Yes. Okay, say enter. Say enter now. Whenever you are creating from here, right? For demo application, your application name is what? Demo app. Here also you are going to see some files along with the demo app, right? Just I'm copying this command. Okay. Now application folder created, right? Yes. Step 4. Step 4 now. Go to, there is a file called generally facebook.com, gmail.com. For all that you will be having some URLs, right? So go to urls.py and specify a URL for your project. Specify a URL. And specify URL for your application. Where can you see the urls.py? Once observe in my project one, inside again one more project folder, urls.py is available, right? urls.py is available. Remove that entire this comment. This green color one is a comment. Remove that comment. Remove that comment which is already available there, right? Yeah, default py files will get urls.py file already there. That's what I'm saying. In Django, all are inbuilt. So this file also you can see. Just I'll give path. Re underscore path you can use. Re underscore. Just add one line in this urls.py. In urls.py, in my project one, urls.py is there, right? urls.py. Click it and say repath. You can just give a path like this. This is start regular expression, start symbol. What I'm giving demo I'm giving as the demo I am giving as the www.demo.com, otherwise demo.com. Start with, this is start with symbol. This is our regular expression, comma. Whenever I give this, right? Whenever I give this, what function to be executed, what functionality to be executed. Whenever you give facebook.com, what functionality to be executed to opens the that. Here also views dot display. So if you see in this, in your project folder, there is, if you unfold your project folder in application folder also, demo app application folder is there, right? You can unfold it. What you can see, Views.py, one file is there at the last. Views.py. Any Python related things you will be writing in that views.py. Python functionalities, all this, right? So what I'm saying, in views, you are supposed to define a display function. Whenever you give this demo.com, right? What functionality to be executed means? Yes, repath is a inbuilt functionality. Demo.com, if you give this function need to execute. Where this function you are defining? In views. So here, as I'm using this repath, I need to use the import statement for repath. Path comma repath, you say path comma re underscore path. Path comma repath. From DJANGO.urls, import path comma repath. Import it. And here this one line you give views.display. Now this display function I need to define in views, right? This display function I need to define in views. I'll save it. Control S you say, everyone. Control S you say. See, if it is not saved, you can appear, it will appear in blue color here beside the file. For example, just observe. It will appear in blue color here. Okay, Control S. Now I'm copying this. Control C.
Yeah, importing of this is not equal.
Control V, right? Importing this means here importing, right? Here path repath I'm using. I'm importing it. For path and repath, same. Keep comma and say.
Use the one module, right?
Yeah, raw string. R means what? Raw string. And here start with demo.com or demo, any name you can give. If you give demo or demo.com or whatever you give here, for that this functionality views.display. But views I need to import, right? From where? It is in the application folder. Demo app views is available from demo app, import views. In demo app views is available. That's why from demo app import views and use that views. In that views display function need to be defined, right? So for the first application you may feel something okay, but once you go to second or third application, right, you will understand, right, the total things. For the first application all these commands are new to you something difficult, right? But here okay, next step 5. Step 5. Go to views.py. Go to views.py and write the following function. Write the following define the following function, right? Step by step I'm giving here. Okay, go to views.py now. Where it is present, in application folder or private folder? In application folder. Views.py you can see in application folder. Where can you see this views.py, right? In this views.py, define a function with the keyword def. In Python, we define a function by using def. What is the function name? Display. What name you have given in URL, that same name you should give here. In URLs, views.display. The same name we supposed to give here. Display, right? Yes. And whatever you are giving a request, right? The request will be passed to this request request, right? You should give response. What kind of response? HTTP response, HTML return, HTTP response. If you want to write some kind of HTML code, you want to display on your web page, right? You can write your HTML here. HTML, right? Body, BG color equal to red. BG color equal to red. In single quote, you should give. Double quote within double quotes not allowed in Python. So in single quote, BG color equal to red, text equal to yellow. Close that body. HTML body BG color red, text yellow. In H1 tag, right? In H1 tag, try to say welcome to DJANGO. Welcome to DJANGO. Close H1. Close body and close HTML slash HTML, right? Yes. Close body, close H1, close body and close HTML.
So at last there are two double quotes.
Hmm. Okay. Double quotes 2 times you got to here. Now need to. So here keep everything within this BG color red, text yellow, in heading welcome to DJANGO slash H1 body HTML, right? Yes. HTTP response. Import render, now it is not required. Later in our applications, we'll be using that render. Okay. Return or return render. Okay. Now this HTTP response, if you are using, we are import statement for it from django.http, from django.http import statement for import HTTP response, right? That's it. We are supposed to import it. So here it is giving blue mark here for urls.py is not saved, views.py is not saved. It is saying Control S, save it. Here also is say Control S, save it. Yes, views.py, just a small function, display request, return HTTP response, HTML body BG color red, text yellow, H1 welcome to DJANGO, close body and close HTML, right? Yes. Import HTTP response. Completed, right? Total now your application, everything finished. I'll copy this. Okay, fine. Next, start server. Step 6 is what? Starting server. So before that's running, Migrate, you say once. We are also going to migrate. How to migrate means, if let's see, if you observe here, save all your files, saying Control S, py manage.py migrate. If any errors are there, it will display the errors here. Py manage.py migrate. Otherwise, it is migrating, right? Applying migration. So applying migrations, applying it says. For some of it will give errors if it is not correct. Applying it should say, right? Yes. What is this? Migrate. Migrate means if you should say applying. Other than applying, if you say error occurred, means some errors. No errors here. Control C. I'm just saying migrate here. Command for migrating. Control V. Migrate, right? Yes. Step 7, finally, run server. Run server. Same thing. Here you can go Python manage. Python you can say, or py you can say. Manage.py. Here also you can just go. How to run the server means Python or py. Py you can say, or Python you can say. Manage.py. Manage.py. Run server. What is that? Run server. Now your server starts. Yeah. Server is starting, right? Yes. Python manage.py run server. Server now giving the request. What is that URL pattern we have given? www.demo.com. You can give anything. Demo you can give, or any other name you can give, right? Step 8. Step 8 is what? Giving request in the browser. Giving request in the browser. How to give the request means, is server is running, right? Here, whenever you say Python manage.py run server, copy this. Copy that and say Control C. Without copying, if you say Control C means your server stops. Control C is the command to stop your server. Copy this first. It means first select it and say Control C. Okay, Control C is say copy it and open one browser window. Open one browser, Chrome browser, and here you can paste it. Control V. Paste it. Yes. www.demo.com. Observe here www.demo.com and say enter. So if any error, say, welcome to DJANGO. You are giving the, it is giving the response. www.demo.com. It is giving the response. Welcome to DJANGO. Understood? Everyone got the result? Yes, this is the output. It hardly takes. Welcome to. Understood that installation of DJANGO one application creation. What I did first, how to create an. See, you need to know Virtual environment, how to activate? Activate you say. Project folder, this is the command to for creating project. Application, this is that command for creating application. And specify some URL. And go to views.py and write a small function, Python function. That migrate you say, run server, give the request. Got the result? Yes. So I showed you how to download and install a ID like Autumn ID. I showed you how to install DJANGO, how to go with a sample application, right? Step by step. Okay, I'll forward you this document. Step by step, I created this document, right? What we have performed. We didn't write much codings here. Only one line codings you have seen. All are present within that, right?
Vijay, like, what is that migrate, like, manage.py migrate? What does it do? It's like,
You, for example, if you have done any mistake in your application here somewhere in this views.py or urls.py, any mistake you have done, right? It will show the mistake there whenever you say migrate.
okay.
In line number so and so, or in this views.py, what's some error. But later you will come to know the full-fledged functionality of migrate. Whenever you say tomorrow I want to create some, I want my data to be stored in the database. Until you say migrate, your data won't be stored in the database. Migrate. Once you say migrate, then your table gets created and data will be inserted in that. Means if no error, fine. If error is there, it won't migrate.
Okay. It will shows the errors,
It will show the
whatever
errors
we.
in that. It won't apply that settings, all that configurations, right? Fine. It will just gives the error. Once in that you will see, right, in that coming applications, you will see that where we use this migrate, what is the use of migrate. Now the first 3-4 steps, creating project, creating application, okay, URLs, views, and how to start the server command, how to give the request, these things understood, right? So in the next coming tomorrow also I'll show you one or two applications that you will get much more command or okay what we are performing, right? And any other queries you have got, anyone? Understood? So if anyone, if you are not installed this DJANGO, or if you are not installed this IDE, right, make it install. I'll forward you the video, okay, of this. Go through and also this notes step by step we are writing, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I created these notes. You can just follow these notes, right?
Yeah,
So,
no, yeah, in the Python group, like, please share the notes so we follow.
yeah, I'll forward it, right? I'll forward. Yeah, you can just ping me in the group about the Python notes. You can just ping me in the group, right? I'll just forward it. Which group?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm stopping here. We'll continue tomorrow at 9 o'clock again. We'll see 1 or 2. Understand that there is nothing theory in this. Everything will be practical. So we'll see tomorrow. We'll see 1 or 2 applications, right? More. So once you do these things, okay, you can create your own applications. I'll stop here. We'll continue, right? Yes.